Hello guys, welcome back, and for another standard deck tech for Wilds of Eldraine, we take a reference list from the recent user submitted deck list in MTG Goldfish, and they call this one as the Golgari, or let's say a mid-range Golgari deck, featured and created by Tessa Karloff. So this is in a sense of the black and green strategy. It's like a self-mill graveyard shenanigan-ish based strategy and build, which comprises foremost of assembling the Titania Voice of Gaia along with its land partner, or we can meld into, that is Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. So we're going to do a quick rundown again. You can see here the new cards, as long as some of the graveyard shenanigans and some sideboard here. We have 15 creatures, 4 enchantments, that is Teachings of the Kirin the Saga. We have 6 instants, 6 Prin Walkers, 3 sorceries, and 26 lands. So we're going to go a quick rundown as to why this is called more of a graveyard-ish setup. Is first off with an Undead Butler. So we have 4 copies of this in the deck. So what this does is that enters the battlefield, you will just mill 3 cards, and then when it dies, you may exile it, and if you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So early on, you can just have this one as a basically a 2-drop self-mill, and then do some returning or recursion later on as it dies, or it may be chump blocking something or trading to opponent's early creature. Now we also have 3 copies of Nissa, Resurgent Animus. This is from March of the Machines Aftermath. It is a 3-cost 3/3 that whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. Then if this is the second time this ETB effect or ability resolved, reveal cards from the top of the library and reveal an elf or elemental card. And that way you can put that card in your hand and the rest of the bottom of the library in random order. So anyway, you can just do some shenanigans with the landfall and have this one as a ramp effect by creating this mana, or also revealing cards to resolve a elf or elemental card and place it into your hand. And that again with 4 copies of Titania Voice of Gaia. This is another 3-drop in the deck, but it goes tell that whenever 1 or more lands are put to your graveyard from anywhere, you will gain 2 life. And then at the beginning of upkeep, if there are 4 or more lands in your graveyard and you both own Titania Voice of Gaia and the land in Argoth, then you can meld them into Titania Gaia's Incarnate. So if we can check here what would be its other meld ability, is that becomes a other part of let's say a bigger threat in this deck build. But again, we can just go with just putting up lands into your graveyard and then having this condition satisfied or met, so that we can be able to meld this Titania in the Argoth and make into a Titania Gaia's Incarnate. Now for other creatures that is new in this deck, and which is the one from the Wilds of Eldraine, is 4 copies of Blossoming Tortoise. So this is mythic creature turtle, enters the battlefield or attacks, you will mill 3 cards and then return a land card from the graveyard to the battlefield tap. Now it is also having a passive ability of activated abilities of lands you control, cost 1 less to activate, and land creatures you control gets +1/+1. So if you can notice later on, we have several lands that can have these activations and making them 1 less mana cost cheaper, so it also have a good threat, and also giving those mana lands +1/+1. So that's for your creatures. Now for the enchantment, so this Teachings of the Kirin again is like another self-mill effect, and you'll also create a colorless spirit creature token. And the saga lore counter goes on. You can go this one with this ability wherein you would be able to become a Kirin Touch Orochi, wherein whenever it attacks, exile target creature card from a graveyard and then create a colorless spirit creature token, and then exile target non-creature card from your graveyard and then put up some counter on target creature control. So more of the support utility creature, but the main purpose here is that you can be able to self-mill and then create this 1/1 colorless spirit creature token as sort of an early defense or maybe an attacker for certain situations. Now with the instance, we have 3 copies of Turn the Earth. Choose up to 3 target cards from your graveyards, and then the owner of those cards shuffle them into his or her library, and you will gain 2 life for that process. And also it has a flashback of 2, so if you're able to mill this one from your library, you can still use this one for flashback effect. Just pay the 1 colorless and 1 green to have this effect of shuffling those certain target cards in graveyard. So this one have also a good effect either on your strategy or from your opponent's setup, wherein they would be able to exile their other graveyard shenanigans as well. Then we have 3 copies of the End. So this is a 4 to cast instant spell that costs 2 less if your life total is 5 or less. It can exile the creature or planeswalker and then search copies of that controller of the copy of the card from graveyard, hand, and library. And then the player shuffle and then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. So this is more of a certain new version of an eradicate effect, but the good thing is that it can also exile not only creatures but planeswalkers. So this would become a very relevant spot removal in the coming standard metagame. So let's now proceed to the planeswalker choices. First up is 3 copies of Liliana of the Veil. Again, this is sort of a generic planeswalker inclusion, especially for block-based mid-range decks in the format. And just any function that you could go with, sacrificing them a creature, having them discard a card, and also having the ultimate ability or -6 to separate all permanents from that player controls, and then choosing into 2 piles and then sacrificing half of it basically. And then we have 3 copies of Brian of Realm Breaker from March of the Machines. This planeswalker seems to be seeing play now in this deck because of its ability that can have up to 1 target land you control becomes 3/3 elemental creature token. Creature with Vigilance, Sacrifice, and Haste. And lands you control also has ability to produce mana of any color, and also having a self-mill effect of mill 3 cards, and then you may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. So that is for the planeswalkers. And lastly, before we talk to the lands, is the only 3 sorceries in the main deck. We have 3 copies of Dig Up, which is ability to search library for a basic land card and reveal it to your hand. If you would be able to clip this one, you can just took out this clause. So basically you are searching library for a card and then put it into your hand. So this is more of a Golgari tutor effect and also a mana fix in the early game. Again, for the lands of the choices for having the 26 land count is that the Argot Sanctum of Nature meld effect that goes with Titania, Voice of Gaia. So this will not only having to produce those main strategy of the meld, but also you can have this one activated to create these 2/2 green bear creature tokens, then build 3 cards if there are any certain effects that you might have to go with in this activation. And also we have a copy of Blaststone. So this is also a sweep land, and be having putting X charge counters depending on the mana value equal to that charge counters that you can be able to use to destroy those non-land permanents. We have also a copy of Yugioh, disenchant effect, and also can kill off a non-basic land. And mana fix with Death of Flames, also basic lands, Far West. Another mana fix with One Lower Waste. This is not a new mana creature or creature land in this deck. That is 2 copies of Restless Cottage. It becomes a 4/4 black and green horror creature, and whenever it attacks, you'll create a food token and then exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Also, we have a single copy of Reverse Outlook, More of the Swamps, another channel land, and a copy of the Draw Spits that can also be used to sacrifice it to draw a card. So with that on the main deck, we take a quick look at the sideboard. So this is choices are pretty much basic because of the several 4-ofs added. So first off is the 3 copies of March of Wretched Sorrow. This is more of a X damage effect to a certain creature or planeswalker, but gaining life here would matter, and this would I think would align for aggro matchups, especially mono red, wherein life gain is also important. Now we have 4 copies of Tamiya's Safekeeping. This would also have your permanent irresistible until turn, you will gain 2 life. So this is again for mid-range matchups that goes with several spot removal or mass removal. You can just protect any of your permanent from this effect. And we also have 4 copies of Go for the Throat, again for aggro and other mid-range backup or additional spot removals that can destroy target non-artifact creature. And last but not the least is 4 copies of Parasitic Grass, which I think again aligned for the humans matchup because of this ability that you can also pay 1 to deal 3 damage and gain 3 life, and would also work against maybe for mono red or for red green matchups in the standard format. And last but not the least, we take a look at the mana curve. It goes with 2.62 average, wherein 3 and 2 are the topmost number of mana value cards in this deck. Color distribution is pretty much even, but you can see here that green cards are basically above the black, with 35 for green and 16 for the black cards, but the producer is even with 22 and 24 respectively. And last but not the least are tokens. We have a bear token from the Argoth, food token, spirit token, and the extra would be, I think, the Rend and Runebreaker emblem, where you may play lands and cast permanents from your graveyard. So that pretty much sums up this mid-range Golgari. I call this one as Golgari Titania deck strategy, which utilizes now the new cards from Blossoming Tortoise and the end, and also having the option again to go with the Brothers Wars meld ability of Argoth and Titania Voice of Gaia. If you like this video and you need to check on some of my feature deck text and deck feature for standard and other formats, just click on like and subscribe and notifications on so that you can be informed firsthand for new uploads from this channel. Again guys, thank you for checking this video and see you on the next one.